Everyone on Facebook to clear your doubts. Let's hear a hi from you in the comment box. We shall start in a few minutes. These are small fill in the blanks, and these fill in the blanks have options. You choose one option and then you wait for the next day to actually know your answer. So these answers give you a chance to try. Hi Sadiq, so nice to see you here. I'm glad you could join. Good afternoon. So these questions give you a chance to test your English and even allows you to mull over the answer which you have given and the options you've got for an entire day. Next day at 8 o'clock in the morning, you get your answer. So you know whether you are thinking correctly in English or you are able to kind of research and find the answer. So you have these options with 24 hours in your hand. You have these options to actually try out. Hi, hello Nayana, so nice to see you here. Glad you could make it. So as I was talking about the slides which I share every day, and you get one entire day, that is 24 hours to think over the answer you have given. So you do give the answer, but then it should, I believe, should remain in your mind for the entire day, and next morning at 8 o'clock you get your answer. So you know whether you're right or you're wrong. And I'm sure you must have got, thinking, you must have had doubts about which answer should I pick and why should I pick up that answer. And so here we are to solve all your doubts. If you have in English, you are free to ask questions, and I will give, because you all are early birds here as of now, so I will give you a chance to introduce yourself as in, with just one word with respect to your English. Put into the chat box, what do you feel about English? I have asked this question before. Do you feel that writing English is more difficult or speaking English is more difficult? Put in the chat box if it is writing, write W, and if you feel it is speaking, just write S in the chat box. I have 3 viewers, so I should have 3 answers, and it would, we'll know exactly what do you feel about it. You can put in the chat box S if you feel that speaking is difficult, and a W if you feel that writing is difficult. And so I'm going to pick up 2 questions, or I'm going to discuss 2 slides from my end with you, and you have done these slides before. One second. So we have if you remember, you had this question in which you were asked to choose between who, whom and whose, and the slide actually had the question as being, this is a girl dash father is a scientist. So you have made your choice, so whether it should be who, whom or whose, and you also got your answer the next day. So I will kind of explain in this session. If anyone has any doubt, I'm going to explain to you why and when you should be using who, why and when you should be using whom, and why and when you should be using who. So and the next slide which you have taken up is, she is the girl dash we saw in the theater. Here you the options of again who, whom and whose. You made your choices, and yes, you know the answer also. And the next slide question which came up, you had to choose between two sentences which were given to you. One was, Jin knows a lot more than me, and Jin knows a lot more than I. So you were to choose one of these sentences which were correct, and I am going to tackle this doubt also, in which you may have thought whether it should be me or I. I'll tell you when to use me and when to use I in the sentences. So, are you excited to learn? Have you had these doubts before? Just if you could communicate and let me know if you've had these doubts with whose, whom and who, when to use these, and I and me. Please type in the chat box whether you've ever had this doubt while speaking or maybe while writing. So we will get to know about when to use what. So let me begin with who, whose and whom. So who, W-H-O, who is used to ask when which person has done the action or is in a certain state. Which person has done the action or is in a certain state. So for example, we can ask who took the exam. You never give an exam, you always take an exam. All right, as a student, you always take an exam, never give an exam. So remember this part, this is a little tip. So who took the exam? Here you want to know which person, and for in a particular state, you can say, you can ask a question, who is not well today, or who is going to visit the doctors today. So who is a word used in a sentence, in a question, and it is used to know which person has done the action or is in a particular state. Next is whom. So whom is asked, is used to ask which person receives the action. So when an action is done, somebody is also at a receiving end. So that is where we use whom to refer to that person who is receiving the action. And I can give you an example in this case, which can be to whom was the book given to, or to whom was the vaccination given to. We are always talking about vaccination these days, corona and COVID, so I guess comes in the sentences also. So to whom was the vaccine given? So here we are referring to a person who has received the vaccine in the sentence, and that is where we use whom and we don't use who. And the third one is whose. This is used to find out to which person something belongs to. It shows possessiveness, it shows belonging. So whose book is this, or whose laptop is this, or whose pen is this? So we are talking about belonging of something with the person. Now am I making sense? It would be nice if I could see you at least writing Y in the chat box, so that I know that you have understood a little bit. Could you put Y in the chat box if you have understood the difference between who, whom and whose? Would you think you would get confused again with this. So let me summarize it very quickly. Who is to ask which person did the action, whom is to ask who received the action, and whose shows belonging of something to someone. Whose child is this? Alright. Now there's another one important thing which we need to know. When we are speaking in English, or we are confused, we look into a grammar book. When we look into the grammar book, you see the words subject or object, and possessiveness, and you don't know what actually the word means. You know subject, you know, you are aware of the word, you know the word object, you know possessiveness, but what does that actually mean in a particular sentence? So I'll make this very clear to you, because you will come across constant references to subject and object and possessiveness in any grammar book. So here subject is somebody who does the action, okay, and we use he, she, or they for it. And object is somebody who receives the action. The object is somebody who receives the action, so we use him, her, and us in this case. And the third one is possessiveness, and here it tells us about the person something belongs to, and we use his, her, or our in this case. Can you come up with some examples in your mind or in the chat box regarding a subject? Can you make a he, she, or they sentence? And I can give you examples from my end. He goes to school, so he is doing the action, so he is the subject here. She is writing a book, so here she is the subject again. Or they are singing in the choir, so here again in these three examples, he, she, and they were subjects, and they represented someone or a group of people. And with respect to object receiving the action, we use him, her, or us. They scolded him, so him here is that person who is referred to as him is the object. And she was shouted at. No, there is no her here, so this example is null and void. I gave her the book, so again I gave her the book, so her here is again an object, so she is receiving the book, so we are using her, and she is the object in this case. And us, an example, come on, help me with the example. I shall, no, not I shall, he scolded us. This is what is coming to my mind again. So as a group, the teacher scolded us. So as a group of students or as a class, the teacher scolds you, and you are receiving that shouting from the teacher. So you are the object here, us as an object. Now the third part is possessiveness, and it tells us that something belongs to someone, and you again use his. This is his book, or this is her necklace, or this is our house. So this shows possessiveness. So these pronouns are, are used in a particular way for a particular set of persons, and they are also used particularly as subject, object, or to show possessiveness. Am I making myself clear to you? And which I thought would be a kind of a doubt part for you. You may be having a doubt in this point of in English, which is me and you, I. When to use me and when to use I. When you use English wrongly, it creates a bad impression on people. People feel that and I'm not saying that English is your mother tongue or somebody. See, we have our own mother tongues. We are good with our mother tongues. Nobody can challenge us. But English is a foreign language, and we feel the need to learn English, know English, because this language has a far reach, global reach. And when something has a global reach, everybody wants to be good with it. See, you are watching me on on Facebook Live, and few years ago we had not used Facebook Live at all, or we had not used another couple of years ago we had not even used internet. We did not know what www meant, but because the whole world was getting onto it, we got onto it too. We learned. Why did we learn? Because we needed to communicate with the world, to be globally communicable with people. And we also need a language, not only a platform. Internet is a platform, Facebook is a platform, WhatsApp is a platform, your mobile, your laptop, they are all hardwares to communicate with people. So everything is about communication, and a language is one of the most important part of communication. So we normally communicate at home with our mother, or using our mother tongue, our language which is spoken around us. But then to talk to people from every walk of life, from every country, from every place around, look, we need English, and that is where I come in. That is why you are here with me. So whenever you speak wrong English, it's not wrong on your part, but then you are more confident if you know the right, if there's somebody who tells you what is the right usage and what is not. So in this case, I'm going to pick up me versus I. When do you use me and when do you use I? I hope you're excited about it. You have, okay, you all are responding. I had to scroll down to see. Tell me how to use, sorry, I hadn't seen your messages. Tell me how, Sadiq says, tell me how to use me in spoken language. Sometimes me is used to indicate I in spoken English. Yes. He is hard work. I'm so sorry. I hadn't seen your inputs. All right. I just thought it would scroll up. It didn't. All right. Welcome Rahul. Welcome Sadiq. Welcome Nayana. Welcome Sachin. I'm so happy to see you all here. And let me just continue with me and I. I'll just finish this and then I'll take your doubts. I do hope you have your doubts in place. So here is a question. Jinn knows a lot more than me, and the other statement is Jinn knows a lot more than I. Which one would you choose, the first one or the second one? Which sentence you feel is correct? Jinn knows a lot more than me. This is one. And Jinn knows a lot more than I. This is second one. Take your pick. Which one you feel is correct? And while I go further and explain to you me versus I. So I is used by speaker to refer to himself or herself as a first person. It's a singular pronoun. So normally we use I to start a sentence. You ask anyone to say any sentence, the person starts with I and then thinks which, how to continue with the sentence. So yeah, okay, so Naveen says 2 and Sadiq says the first one. All right, I will tell you which is correct, or you will know very soon which one is correct. We have 2 different answers here. Naina, would you like to try? Rahul, would you want to try? And pick a answer. So, and me is used by speaker to refer to himself or herself as the object of the verb or preposition. So I just explained object to you. Someone who receives something. That is where you use me. So Sadiq, I think I'm answering your question here. Whenever you are receiving something, you are a receiver or you are an object, you use me in that case. And me is never used to start a sentence. Never, ever. Now I'll give you some options here. You make your choices, all right? There are, okay, coming to the example, the first question which I asked you. Jin knows a lot more than me. Jin knows a lot more than I. So, yeah, okay, correct. So, Sadiq and Naina are correct. We can give a CCC, clap for them for the correct answer. And Naveen, the answer is Jin knows a lot more than me. You will not use the sentence Jin knows a lot more than I. So, clap, clap, clap for your participation, Naveen, Sadiq and Naina. Let me tell you what my guru tells me. My guru tells me, knowing is not doing. Doing is knowing. So when you do, when you participate, when you do things, that is when you learn. You never learn just by knowing. You just have theory. You just have, you do not have practical knowledge. So that is where. Do you think are you okay if I talk in Hindi also? Is everyone comfortable with Hindi here? Naveen, Sadiq, Naina? I'm speaking only in English. I can do English also. English, Hinglish. Hindi and English. These are the only 2 languages I know. And if you feel it's okay only in English, I'm alright with that also. So I'm, of course, fine with English. So if anybody wants me to speak in Hindi also, you can just write H in the chat box and I will do English then. So now here are some sentences. I'll give you one sentence and you will type your responses in the chat box as if you feel that is correct. Then you will. Naveen, okay, so Hindi bhi chahiye aapko? Is this what you're saying? Yes means Hindi chahiye. Please continue in English. All right, fine. Right, okay. So I just told you about me and I. So here are some sentences. You just quickly you will respond in the chat box whether you feel that it is a correct answer or not. If you feel it is correct answer, you will type C, and if you feel it is incorrect, then you type I. All right. So first sentence. They are going to send my wife and I a gift. They are going to send my wife and I a gift. Chat C in the chat box if you feel this answer is correct, this sentence is correct, or I in the chat box if you feel it is incorrect. If it is wrong, type I. If you feel it is correct, type C in the chat box. Are you doing it? All right, great. Comfortable in English, fine. So now, okay. Naveen says I. Sadiq says I. What does Nayana and others have to say? They are going to send my wife and I a gift. Quick responses. I go to the next one. They are going to send us a gift. They are going to, it basically means they are going to send us a gift. Alright. So, they are going to send us a gift. Is this correct or is this incorrect? Quick responses. All right. So yes, so this sentence is correct. They are going to send us a gift. You will not say they are going to send my wife and I a gift. You can say they are going to send a gift for my wife and me. You will not say I. All right. Okay, good. This was correct, Naveen. They are going to send us a gift is correct, and they are going to send a gift for my wife and I. For my wife and me is correct. All right. Let's go to the next sentences. Tom and me are going to the river. Is it I or C? Is it correct? Type C for correct and type I for incorrect. Tom and I are going to the Tom and me are going to the river. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should just wear my glasses. Better. So now I can see better. I can see you also better. All right. Tom and me are going to the river. Is it incorrect? Naina says it's incorrect. Sadiq, Naveen, what do you feel? Is it correct or incorrect? All right. So Tom and me are going to the river is incorrect. Very rightly said, Naina. The correct sentence, all right, Naveen, that's an incorrect sentence. So you have so much learning. The correct sentence would be Tom and I are going to the river. Here you use I. Tom and I are going to the river. You will not say Tom and me are going to the river. Then next set of questions, the sentences, sorry. The best cards are sent to Susan and I. The best cards are sent to Susan and I. If you feel this is correct, type S in the chat box, because now I don't know which I and C is coming for what. So please type S in the chat box if you feel this is correct. The best cards are sent to Susan and I. And if you feel it is wrong, you type I. Naina says it is incorrect. Very good, Naina. Yeah. So Sadiq is giving us the correct answer. The best cards are sent to Susan and me. You've already learned. Good, Sadiq. Very good, Naveen. That was an incorrect sentence. So let me just say the incorrect sentence first for you. The best cards are sent to Susan and I is incorrect. The best cards are sent to Susan and me is correct. All right. Shall we go to the next one? He said me that he had to leave. He said me that he had to leave. Type C if you feel this is correct and I if you feel it is incorrect. Very good. Okay, hello Madhur. That's nice to see you here. Naina says that it is correct. He said me that he had to leave. Sadiq and Naveen, are you coming up with your answer? Sadiq, yes means what? Type C if you feel it is correct. Type I if you feel it is wrong. Okay, it's correct. Yeah, all right. Um, all right. So let me tell you, it is wrong. The correct one would be he told me that he had to leave. Now I have not taught you this, but we always tend to teach a little something, a little. We go beyond the actual, me. So I've tried to. This was a trick question for you. Me remains there, but the correct sentence would be he told me that he had to leave. We will handle. I shouldn't say the word handle. We will take up this topic in our next live session. When to use speak, when to use tell, when to use say. Okay, so this will be the topic for our next live session, and I will try to take live sessions at 1 o'clock every Thursday, and I hope you will join. Also, let me get you this another question. I don't talk Chinese. Is this correct? Type C in the chat box if you feel it is correct. And after this learning which you've had, I'm going to share a link with you where you will take a little small test and you will get your gift also. Because it's already 33 minutes, we are into the live session. We have few more minutes to go and I need to take your questions also. Incorrect. I don't talk Chinese is incorrect, Naina says. Yes. Yes. So the correct one would be I don't speak Chinese. And I'll tell you the rules. Yes, Sadiq, it is incorrect. Very good. I'm so happy to see your participation. Let me very quickly share a link with you, which would have it's a little worksheet for you with simple 10 questions, so that with this learning you can just test yourself and get your scores and share your score here. And because you've been such a wonderful audience, you've been such a wonderful audience. Yes, the link is here. Go to the link. There are some 10 questions for you to take there. Take them and share your score here if you want to. There is also a little gift for you for being such a wonderful and participative audience. I hope that this link would let you know how comfortable are you with this topic of who, whom, me and I. Go ahead, and while you take your test, I can take your doubts if you have any other doubts in English. Do you have any doubts? And if you have doubts, I can take it, but in the meantime, I would want you to go to the link, take the little test, get your scores, and also get your gift. Now your gift is a lot more of English learning from me. As some of you probably know or don't know, I am turning an author very soon. I am in the process of writing my book, With English Be Distinguished. So this book is a handbook A handbook means what? It's not a book which you just read. It's a book where you do things. You sit with a pencil in your hand, a pen in your hand, and you work along with me in the book. So it's a book where you can actually learn by doing. As you know, I learned from my guru that knowing is not good enough, doing is what you need to do. So this book has a lot of doing for you to do. You will be taking up a lot of exercises there. I'll be teaching you stuff and you will be actually doing the exercises. And as you do, you would be more and more comfortable. You shall, you shall also be able to connect with me. You will have a link there. You'll have a QR code there with every page in the book. And as you are going through and you have any doubts or anything, you can immediately connect with me and ask me. So it's going to be a holistic kind of a learning for you. And you can learn, of course, at your pace, and I will certainly be there with you all through, as in the words and thought in my book, and also you can connect with me. I hope all of you have subscribed to my YouTube channel where I share a lot of learning too. Yes, you have to take the worksheet right now. How will you give me the score? Sadiq, you have to give me the score quickly. We just have about a couple of more minutes. Even if you don't give me the score, you should know your score. So as I was talking about my book, this book is a handbook. You will use it with a paper and pencil. You will also have links and QR codes in the book, so that wherever you may find difficulty, or you may have a doubt, or you may have a suggestion for me, I'll take it right away. So you can connect with me as you go through the book as well. Today all of us are digitally connected with each other, and life has become more simpler to be more communicative, be in touch with each other, and it is best for us as trainers to be connected with our learners, and that is how learning happens. So if I have a doubt today and I have to connect with you, not if I can't connect with you immediately, I just forget that question. Next time when I meet you, I just forget the question. So the learning doesn't happen. So I always try to make myself available to you at all times to clear your doubts. We have another minute to go. I was hoping for some scores to come up here after the worksheet is done. But okay, maybe it's taking a little longer for you. There's a little gift for you, an exclusive gift for you for being such a wonderful audience. And I am really thankful that I could teach you something. Hope this helped you in some way and cleared some doubt of yours. As I said, I'm always available. You may ask me your doubts anytime. It is time now to wrap up this session. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience with me. I shall see you again next Thursday at 1 o'clock again. You can get your family and friends also to join in. I would be so happy to see them. Thank you everybody. It's a wrap up now. See you. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Be masked up. And be in touch. Keep the learning on. Thank you. Bye-bye. This is Sapna Narayan, your English confidence building coach, signing off now, and I hope that you have enjoyed this session and you have even picked up the exclusive gift which has come your way. This is the first time I've shared it. The book is still in the making, but yes, you get a gift as in being such a wonderful audience. Thank you everybody. Take care. Bye bye.